Good morning. It is October 29th, which means it is the first day of European Daylight Savings Time. So for the first time inside of our WITY cabin, there's a little bit of controversy because in the app yesterday, it told us to set our clocks back 1 hour, which is what I did on my old school digital watch. And we also set back our phones 1 hour because we didn't think we had enough internet for it to automatically update. And then when we woke up naturally, according to my watch, it was 5 o'clock. According to our phones, it was 4 a.m. And then when we checked the TV, it was originally 6 a.m. And the ship time inside of the app also said 6 a.m. And then the TV, after a few minutes, the TV adjusted to 5 a.m. So we were looking at 3 different times, 2 of which were official Royal Caribbean times. So it was a little confusing as to what time it actually was. So we have a phone in our room. So we called down to guest services and he said it was 5 a.m., which matched my watch time, but it didn't match anything else. Now the time on ship is important, especially when you are going into shore. And especially when you have to get off the ship early and have to get back relatively early as well, which I think is important, but apparently Royal doesn't feel it's as important as everybody else because yesterday when the captain came on the announcements at 6 p.m., he said there was still about another 60 people who needed to get onto the ship, but they were on a Royal Caribbean shore excursion, so we had to wait for them. So not only are the excursions multiple times more expensive than if you just do the same thing on your own, but they don't even have apparently the expertise to get you back on time. So we were back well before we needed to be, and I think we only spent about $50 as opposed to the $300 that the tour package would have been. So those are 2 reasons that we're happy that we did our own shore excursions. Last night I slept a lot better than I did the night prior. So I'm not sure with all the different time changes that we had if I slept 6 hours or 7 hours, but even if it was 6 hours, I felt really rested because the sea was very calm and I didn't wake up during the middle of the night, which is really nice. I couldn't feel the ship rocking or anything like that. Nothing really disturbed me. And I may or may not have had a power nap before dinner while watching ESPN Game Day on the TV. So I got a lot of rest last night and yesterday afternoon. So ideally this would not be the morning that we had a time change because we have to get off of the ship, or we can start getting off the ship at 7:30 a.m. And if that is true, then that means that the Windjammer opens in about 10 minutes. So we need to still get breakfast, get dressed. Well, probably get dressed first, go to breakfast, and then try to make our first tender around 7:30 or 8 a.m. Yes, this is the first time we're on a tender, which is one of those boats that take you to shore when the water is too shallow for the ship to go alongside the port. They also back up and serve as emergency life vehicles in case, of an emergency, but let's not think about that right now. So we're gonna be on our first tender, get into France, and then also in the app they told us how to get to the train station, which should be about a 10-minute walk, and then the train should come every 15 minutes to take us to downtown Nice. Let's go. Okay, we're on the tender. Not too bad. We went down to the 4th floor, and because there's basically nobody on the ship, we actually didn't even have to go pick up a ticket, but we just went right out here into the tender, and it's rocking a little bit, but still not as bad as night 1. So this should be pretty fun. I don't know how long it takes to get over, but we should be on shore relatively soon.
Yeah, and the views already look so good. Like, I love mountains on the ocean, like the cities on the ocean, and that's exactly what we're seeing. So I can't wait to see more of it. And the sun, we got to see the sunrise at breakfast, like the sunrise over the mountains. And now we can see it peeking out back here. It's going to be a great day in France. Ah, we love France! So our friend Jenny was in Romania and she was like crying over this gate that made her really emotional, and I'm like sitting here, I'm like, it's such a quiet French morning. I love France so much. We've only been here once and we went to Paris, and I'm like, okay, if we liked Paris, I hope we like the rest of France, and clearly I do. Like, I love France. Okay, let's go explore. we got off the boat, off the tender. It was really easy, simple, like it took 15 minutes. We walked through the little area, and now we are gonna walk down this path along the water, get to the train station, and get over to Nice. Okay, so we just picked up our tickets, round trip tickets to get from here over to Nice, and it was €8.40 for both of us, which is a great price. And we had read that the train times were like every 15 minutes, not so much. We just missed the one that left, and I went and talked to the attendant that was over here, and she said the next one comes in 30 minutes. And I'm bummed because she was also selling tickets, so we literally missed the train by a minute, but it's okay. We'll just enjoy this view while we wait to get over to Nice. Crazy few hours we've had. So we left the train station and it drops you off pretty far away from the coastline, and we knew that, but we had to walk through like the regular town. And as we're walking through, I'm like, wow, these streets are really quiet. And then I realized, oh, it's Sunday, so that means things are closed. So we're like, okay, hopefully once we get down to the water, things will be opened. But as we were walking to the water, we were trying to find a spot to get a croissant and a coffee, and it wasn't until we got to the street right before the coast where we were able to find our little espresso and croissant. So then we took that and we sat by the water and enjoyed the view for about 15 minutes before we decided we need to hurry up and fly the drone because there's a huge rain cloud coming through. So we did just that, and thankfully we got the shots that we wanted, and then we put the drone up, and as soon as we did that and started walking to look for a spot to get either crepes or creme brulee, it started raining. So we started walking around. So we had about 4 or 5 spots saved where we can get creme brulee or the crepe des Suzette, I think, and that's where it has alcohol and they set it on fire, and we really enjoyed both those things when we were in Paris. And so we looked for, like, we're on the main street right now, but we were trying to go off the main street and off the beaten path because we do this for a living, right? We pride ourselves in knowing where to go and not being in the tourist traps. But because it's Sunday, it seems like the only things that are open are right here in the center, in the main street. So we did go a few streets over, tried to look for our locations, couldn't find them, but we are back on the main street and we are in some of the more touristy areas. But we have no control over when we were able to visit this. Like, the ship dropped us off on a Sunday, so that's all we have to see this town. We said, okay, we definitely want to come back on not a Sunday because we really like the vibes and we really like everything around here, but we're just not able to experience it all. So as we were walking throughout this main road looking for a new spot to eat, we did pop into a souvenir shop because, like we said, we're trying to find magnets to put on our door, on our cabin door. And so we did walk in and we found a magnet, which magnets are a whole lot easier to find than patches. And then we noticed there was a lot of like blue chairs as souvenirs, and so we asked one of the workers and they said that back in the day, before the war, a lot of locals and a lot of families would take their beach blue chair and go out to the water and enjoy the view. But you had to pay for it. Like it wasn't just free. So they said it's kind of kept up, but now you actually can go to the beach for free. And then she also mentioned, hey, at noon, you're gonna hear a big like horn or cannon. It's like, don't be alarmed. That is also something that used to happen. Apparently a lord was tired of waiting for his wife to come home to cook for her, and so he asked the city to sound the alarm, and when the alarm went off, that would tell his wife that she needed to come home and make food. So that's also something that they still keep up to this day. So we're back on the main road, and we found ourselves a little pastry shop with eclairs and all the things that we were, not all the things, but a lot of the things we were looking for. So we have an eclair and we have another pastry called Paris Brest, I'm not sure. But both these things came about to about €8, and so we're gonna enjoy them. And there is one of the restaurants that we did save that says it's gonna open at noon. So we're gonna eat this, and hopefully we can go back there and get a creme brulee.
Alright. Yes.
Do you want to do this one closer so you can get the fire?
Sure.
Oh, can we switch so you can get video of that one? Ah!
Oh, careful.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'll just wait.
Okay, we're ready. Like time we weren't ready on video.
Because it's my first time too.
All right.
You got this.
Please don't light me on fire.
I would like. Wow.
Wow. Very nice.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Merci.
Merci beaucoup. Thank you.
Thank you.
I make just two for this.
Okay. This is a lot more on fire than last time.
Yeah, look at it.
It's amazing. First time. I use it to warm up.
When you're in France for only about 6 or 7 hours, you don't have time to do anything else but eat desserts. And I am a very happy man right now because I absolutely love these crepes that are lit on fire. And this is this guy's first time. He did an amazing job. Plus, we had my absolute favorite dessert, creme brulee. I was really sad that we're gonna miss the boat. I was actually okay with missing the boat, figuring out how to get to the next city so that we can get creme brulee. And I'm just so happy. Like, this is great. So we should be able to hopefully be out of here in like 30 minutes. That gives us like 2 hours to get back so we don't miss the tender to the ship. But let's eat this and celebrate our time here in France.
It looks like white wine, but we promise it's rosé.
Other people might disagree, but to me, France is always a good idea, and we're super excited that we enjoyed our time here in the French Riviera just as much as we enjoyed Paris. I mean, the food was absolutely incredible.
The transportation was much easier than we thought it was going to be, and all the locals are incredibly friendly. We're back on the ship. We're checking in on our YouTube channel a little bit, and we're just gonna have a nice, relaxing night. So we'll see you tomorrow.